being in a constant state of thankfulness is probably something that you're not used to. So right now in the comment section, just write one thing that you are thankful for to set off your day. Being thankful will give you the life that you dream of. Being thankful will simply make your life better. Let me explain. You may be thinking, I could be going through the worst right now. I'm going through hell. Everything is bad. What do you mean being thankful will give me the life that I want? Being thankful changes the way you process information. It changes the way you deal with the situations that you are dealing with. Being thankful can transform one situation into a complete other situation because gratitude has a way of changing your perspective or elevating your thought process so that you're not constricted to the negativity that you may be dealing with. I'll explain further going forward. First, it is important to understand that negativity is so easily accessible and it's one of the easiest things to give into. It's what you would call the lowest hanging fruit. When we're, for example, in a situation where we feel disrespected, it is easier to get mad, get angry, and just fold into ourselves with our own thoughts and our own interpretation of the situation, rather than opening our mind to something more that could be at play. But what exactly happens when we feel disrespected and we fold onto ourselves? We put the oppressor or the person that put us in a situation of disrespect as the enemy. We put them as the enemy, but we put everything else as the enemy. We start to rethink why we're there, how could we let this happen, what we did to even be in this situation. And everything becomes red. It's likely that your heart will start to race. It's likely that you will start to feel like you need to do something to defend yourself. And you start to feel that you are against the world, really, when it could be understood in a different way. This doesn't mean just to accept disrespect or situations where you're being demeaned. Rather, it means to open your mind to what is really happening. Something that I like to remember when I'm faced with these type of situations is to appreciate that everything is happening for me. Nothing is happening to me, even in situations of negativity. When we're faced with negativity, we start to feel like it's us versus whoever. But by thinking that, how could this be of benefit for me? How is this situation happening to make me better, to build my character, to change me, to help me grow? And by refusing to give in to negativity, and rather choosing to open your mind to possibility, you start to appreciate life in a different way. You start to give thanks for the things that happen to you, whether positive or negative, because everything was necessary to create the person you are today, the person you are in this moment. And this is why being thankful will make your life better. Being thankful will give you the life that you dream of and that you want. While giving into negativity is a divider and puts you against an infinite amount of enemy, gratitude is a multiplier and it changes your perception to perceive things in a way that could be beneficial for you rather than reductive. Of course, it is sometimes hard to give thanks. It's hard to recognize that things are at play for your benefit, especially when you're going through what you would perceive as the worst. When you're going through what you believe is the worst time in your life, gratitude is probably the last thing that you're thinking about. You're probably thinking that God is going against you. You're probably believing that this is disorder and it shouldn't be happening, rather than living in harmony with what is happening and working with it. But this is like getting caught in a river with a heavy current. No matter how you got there, you're there now. And trying to swim against the current is only going to tire you out. The best thing to do is to face towards where the current is going and to flow with the current. And when you're flowing with the current, you're going to be able to see if there's any branch, rock, or something that you can grab onto to take you out of that situation. But before you can get out of the situation, you have to calm down and realize what is going on around you. If you continue to swim against the current, to fight against what is happening, you are forever going to be in a state of tiredness, a state of stress, because you're living your life in a state of the world is working against me. I have to fight against it. But when you change your perspective to the world is working with me, the world is flowing with me, you're able to perceive things in a different way and therefore grab onto that branch that's going to elevate you to another situation and be at ease and no longer being a river that you don't want to be in or that you don't see yourself in. Showing gratitude for the situation, any situation that you're going through, puts you in a state of flow. It puts you in a state of peace. And when you're in a state of peace, that's when you're able to make your next move the best move. That's when you're able to see everything for what it is rather than for what it's not. That's when you're able to appreciate that things are happening for you, not just against you. In contrast, thinking negatively stops all reasoning from entering your mind. It closes you on yourself. It makes you feel like you're in a war against something that is not of you. And what do you do when you're put in a situation that you feel is dire and that there's nothing you could do about it? You panic. You start hitting everywhere, running everywhere, jumping everywhere, doing everything and anything, using up all of that energy that could have been directed to putting you in a situation that you feel that you deserve to be in. That starts with gratitude. And being thankful is not just saying thank you. It's a state of being. It can even be called a lifestyle because it's walking with the intention and walking with the awareness that everything is happening in harmony right now to serve you to the best of its ability. When you're walking on the street and the bird is singing, that's for you. When someone speaks to you at a random situation at the corner store and they're striking up a conversation, maybe an irrelevant conversation to you, but there's something to learn in that. So it is always to give thanks. In contrast to those very things, just so we're clear, when it starts raining, if you start to cuss and, well, why is it raining? It always rains when I drive and now the roads are going to be slippery. The experience is going to be much less, but you still have to go through it. Let's say you meet somebody at the corner store and they start talking to you about something that is irrelevant to you. It's still happening. You could choose to fuss about it. You can choose to get mad and be like, I don't have time, and run away. You still dealt with that situation. It's still a part of what is happening to you. And if you choose to be reductive with the way that you deal with these situations, you are reductive in the way that you live your life long term. You're literally taking life away from you. Being thankful puts you in a state of ease because the state of gratitude recognizes acceptance. And when you are accepting, you are more prone to being understanding. And with understanding leads change because it encourages actions that could either amplify the situation or reduce from the situation. Have you ever heard of the saying, when humans plan, God laughs? Well, that's because we don't know what is ahead of us. We have no idea what lies behind the eyes of destiny. We can put ourselves in a better position or in a position to help us achieve the things that we want, but we have no idea what tomorrow brings. And because we have no idea what tomorrow brings, we don't know if what is happening is ultimately beneficial or not beneficial to us. Or rather, we don't know how what we're going through is going to be an instrument to our progress and our success. As much as we would want to fuss and be angry and ungrateful with what we're going through, we don't know that the situation that we're going through is actually so that we could go through something better, or so that we can learn a lesson, so that we could deal with something much grander than what we're dealing with. And ungratefulness just takes away from that. Now, not only are you not really looking at the picture that's in front of you, but you're refusing to acknowledge that there could be a bigger picture. And what happens with that reality? With that reality, you are just closed in a negative box. You react negatively to a situation. And what does that do? That takes you to having a bad day or not enjoying yourself as much. So the rest of your day is ruined. And if you keep it on your mind, maybe your week is ruined and your month is ruined. You start to think of people differently, think of situations differently, and everything starts to be just bad. And unfortunately, it doesn't stop there because life is happening and the universe is happening and working for you, whether you realize it or not. So down the line, when you start to realize the blessing that was hidden in the quote unquote negative thing that happened to you days or weeks ago, it's hard for you to even appreciate it, if you can even recognize it. So that just puts you in a hamster wheel of negative things happen to me, so I'm going to be negative, and negative things are then going to happen to me because I'm negative, and it just keeps going around and around and around and around because you are always going to reap what you sow. let's say the very same scenario happens to someone that is actually thankful for everything that is happening to them and recognizes that the world is working for them and things are happening for them and not to them. That person is going to open their mind to the hidden gems within the negativity, and they're going to appreciate their day. And appreciating their day is going to lead to them being willing and happy and even more thankful when they wake up the next morning and have the opportunity to experience life again. And that next day becomes the next week and becomes the next month. And when the big blessing or the big lesson or the hidden reason behind the supposed negativity happens to them is revealed, they're going to be that much more joyful. Not only because the positive thing is happening to them, but because they can now use all of the tools that they learned on the route to getting this amazing gift that is happening to them now. And that all just started with being thankful for what you're going through, being thankful for what you have, for what you don't have, for who you've met and who you know and who you don't know. Recognizing that the universe is working for you and not against you. And this is something that is always happening at all times. You can see that being thankful transforms your reality into something more palatable. Because instead of looking at life as the victim, instead of looking at life like everything and everyone or someone at all times is looking to do you harm, you're now looking at life with open eyes and an open mind, trying to understand what is going on around you. And with that gratitude comes curiosity for the unknown. And that curiosity transforms into knowledge. And that knowledge can be transformed into the necessary actions to take you out of or into any situation that you want to be in. Because the world is yours and everything is happening for you and not to you. So next time you're going through a negative situation, remember to just keep going through it, because there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. You now have the option to look at things in one of two ways. In a way that is going to be reductive, knowing that that reductiveness is just going to be like a virus or a parasite to your life. Multiply and multiply and multiply. So if you're ungrateful and negative, it is likely that you're going to see and feel and experience ungratefulness and negativity from others around you, and just have that energy in your life for an extended period of time, a time that it may be way longer than the negativity that you went through on that said day. You could choose to look at life like that, or you can choose to always be grateful for whatever it is that you're going through, because you know that down the line, somehow, some way, things are going to work out. And this little bump in the road is not more than it has to be. It is the fuel necessary for you to get to the destination that you have always wanted to be. So just remember to be thankful. It will make your life better. That's the video for today. Thank you for watching or listening. Being in a constant state of thankfulness is probably something that you're not used to. So right now in the comment section, just write one thing that you are thankful for to set off your day whenever you're going to be listening to this. And just hold that thought with for the next time that you go through something that is what you deem is unpleasant. And remember that you can choose to be constructive or reductive on your journey forward. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you here next time on the Uncle Prince Show. Hello, Howell family. I wouldn't say I'm back, but I'm kind of back. Something came over me and there was just a message that I felt that should be said today. If this message resonates with you, please like, comment, subscribe. I'm elated to be speaking to you today. I'm elated to be sharing this message with you today. It's something that really touches me, something that has affected me, and something that I know affects you or has affected you in your lifetime. Thank you so much for listening to this video or watching this video. I appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing day. Until next time.